And we're ready to go. Hello, Black Blockchain Consultants. Welcome. We have a treat for you tonight. We, first of all, want to welcome everybody to our Wednesday. I've been calling it a podcast just because I don't know what other term to give for it, but every Wednesday we come to you with a weekly interview of either somebody who's doing great things in blockchain or a blockchain platform that we want to know about, or just, you know, industry pacemakers. And I met Jen in New York with Reggie Middleton.
Yeah,
She's the one that snagged Reggie Middleton for the meetup in New York. And she and I started talking, and she started telling me about Homebloc and what their platform was, and I knew there would be synergy. So I invited Jen, and she invited Jerry Qian, who is up 6 a.m. China time. I don't know, which city are you in?
Yeah, I'm actually in Shenzhen. It's
Okay.
like one of those certain cities.
So you're in mainland China.
Yes, we're mainland China, actually.
Fantastic. So we want to welcome you here as our special guest, and we are so excited to talk to you about Homebloc, what it is, and what you're doing and how we can participate. So with that, I will let either one of you go first. We always kind of like to start off with, you know, a little bit about yourselves and then how you got into blockchain itself.
Sure. First, thank you very much, Sherry, for inviting us to be on the webinar interview with you. We are really excited about this opportunity. Like Sherry mentioned, actually we are running a meetup group in New York City. Right now we have over 600 members in our group. So we host 2 to 3 events a month. Our main goal is to educate the crypto blockchain knowledge to the community. So that's our goal. We are running the events with 2 other business partners, Michael Robinson and Francis Boer, who are also supporting us right now. So I want to just give you guys a little bit overview of who I am and how I got into this space. I'm Jennifer. I'm originally from China. My hometown is Changzhou City. It's in Jiangsu province. It's close to Shanghai City, by the way. I went to Penn State for my MBA study. I was majored in marketing and supply chain. After graduating from Penn State, I moved to New York City and joined a digital marketing agency. I was a digital marketing manager there and overseeing the whole digital marketing strategy as well as implementation. I mainly focused on the paid acquisition channels like Google search campaign, Google display campaign, Google shopping, remarketing campaign, as well as other paid social media and other organic digital marketing strategies. And then I moved to switch my career to working a mobile app company. I was building the customer lifetime value model to predict who are the most valuable users on our app, and analyzing their user behavior on the apps, and to figure out how to better optimize their user flow as well as maximize our company's revenue. So in terms of how I got into this space, actually I'm always interested in the tech, and the blockchain, crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum. These are all buzzwords in the past few years. So I started to look into some articles and some news in this space. I want to know what's going on, right? So I think I'm kind of like the majority of the users. I started personally invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and other cryptocurrencies. And I also go to some other meetup events, trying to network with others and to learn what's going on. And in our team, we also have very knowledgeable team members who share the knowledge with us. So I get more and more information and knowledge about this space. And then there's a chance, so our founder, who is, his name is Joshua Peng, he went to, I forgot the college. He got his PhD in the US, and he created this the Homebloc, and we met through our common friend, and I really like the Homebloc, this idea, and how Homebloc is trying to solve the real estate, trying to solve the resident hotel booking problems. I'm very interested into that, so I that's how I joined the Homebloc team. Yeah, so far so good. It's been a incredible journey since I joined the Homebloc. So
Yeah. I mean, your transition sounds really great in terms of starting off with marketing and doing, business intelligence and analysis and things like that. So I'm sure, our group are not coders. And one of the things that we always talk about in this group is that blockchain companies need us too. They need salespeople, they need, business intelligence people, they need operations people and marketing and things like that. So I very much like the fact that you came from that side of business. So Jerry, how about you?
Okay, so first, I have to say thanks for having me. And my name is Jerry, and I am also originally from China. I was born and raised in Beijing. And actually, Jennifer just mentioned that our founder, Joshua Peng, he is actually my mentor back in school. We went to Mizzou in Columbia, Missouri. For me personally, being in the industry of blockchain is also a big transition. We started off as a civil engineer, actually. We graduated around 2015, and we moved to New York and worked for the engineering consultants. Not the same one, but we started off as civil engineers, building engineers and design buildings. And I believe it was the second year, in 2016, we decided to start our first business, and our first business name is actually called Flow and Sell. And what we did was we designed a sort of like a partition modules where you know how a lot of New Yorkers, and basically in New York, rental prices skyrocketing. And it is, for a regular New York apartment, the living room space is actually available to rent out, and you can actually sign contract to rent a living room. But however, the reason why we started the business is because we've been renting living rooms by ourselves, and we wanted to create a very attractive and comforting solution for the living room renter. So we created a sort of like a furniture partition where it fits and is expand upward, up and downward, and on and sideways as well.
So you invented that?
Yes, we actually designed that.
Very cool.
Yeah, and so we worked with a couple of property management companies and to set it up, and so that we can create sort of like a permanent, or like at least a long-term solution for residents, where people don't have to really stay there for a month uncomfortably and looking for other places to move to, and so they can just stay. And also, in terms of rental price, there's more people living in the space, and then, so the share or the rental of the rental price for each of the tenants are actually, are cheaper, actually reduced. So I think how we got into blockchain is sort of like there was a drama on, around the summer of 2017, actually, is that one of the companies that we collaborated with, they started off another partition business, and by actually using our designs, and because they, they sort of, they figure out how to do it. unfortunately, they didn't actually make it because, we spent time and a lot of energies to look for, our supply chains and everything. So, unfortunate for them that they didn't make it, but we found out that actually we wanted to get into, rental business and, for apartments and everything. And I think at the time, my mentor, Joshua Peng, he was actually, a big fan of blockchain, and he was, learning, and he actually learned from the basis. And that's basically how we got into blockchain, and we decided to do something with blockchain to help the overall rental businesses. And the reason why we got into hotel as our first, as phase one, is because hotel itself is already, the system, the entire industry of hotel is already very, I would say it's a matured industry. So for us to get into rental and to standardize all the apartment is very money consuming. So we wanted to get into something that it's already there, and then to basically test it out and try to solve, the current industry problems as well. And that's how we started Homebloc.
Okay. So first of all, with regard to that other company, there's a saying in our culture, at least, God don't like ugly. So, you were so gracious to say unfortunately, but yeah.
Well, I mean, business is business,
sorry,
right? Sorry. I mean, business is business, right? I mean, there's, all kinds of competitions and out there. So we just have to live with it.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between business and theft. So,
Oh, yeah.
That's different. There's competition. There's nothing wrong with that. So,
Right.
So tell us a little bit more about some of the pain points that people were feeling. And you talked about hotels, because they were standardized, you started with them first. So kind of walk us through some of those early days and some of the iterations and things that you did early on.
Okay. So what we did for the hotel is that with blockchain, we are able to create or generate well, first of all, I have to mention that we are actually based on Ethereum. And so we are able to create or generate a smart contract for each hotel, and actually for each room. And so the hotel, or the smart contract itself, is able to generate an ERC-721, which is a function token that represents the right of use or right of rental. So that since the and actually the right of use for that specific timeline, like for example today. So users are able to purchase the right of use of this room, and then with with either flat currencies or our platform token or our platform credit. And since they're able to purchase that, and they're also able to sell it out, that's why we have this function on our app called Lucky Pool, where for instance, if you're running into an emergency situation where you couldn't make it to your hotel today, and then you can sort of immediately sell your hotel room for today, and then so that people who needed that hotel for today will be able to purchase it, and that sort of create a very good, efficient, like space use efficient.
Yes, like it's more peer-to-peer. You turn the hotel industry into a peer-to-peer market, or secondary market,
trading platform. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. And also you as the initial person who booked the hotel is able to get your money back by selling it to the secondary market, basically. And so that I think that solves a lot of problem. And I know we need a lot of users to actually run this whole system. But I mean, it really did create the conveniency for, users and as well as hotels.
Well, one thing that hotels do a lot is overbooking. So, they'll have, let's say, 100 rooms, but on specific nights, they will do reservations for 120 people. Airlines are famous for this too. And then you end up getting to the hotel and, oh, sorry, we overbooked that night. So I would imagine that a big problem this solves is the overbooking issue. Like, okay, you're waitlisted and we'll let you know as soon as somebody can't come for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Right.
And go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Jen.
I mean, I just want to say, and also another biggest pain point for the hotel industry is also, in just look at the United States market only alone. If when user wants to book a hotel, the first option probably go to Booking.com, Expedia.com, all those like third-party websites, right? However, those third-party websites charge a very high commission rate from those hotels, usually 15% to 25%. It depends on like how much power the hotels can have. And it's very, very bad especially for those like boutique hotels, economic hotels. They have to pay high commission rates to the third party like booking sites, and also they probably rank like lower the position in those like booking sites. So there's a lot of problem. That's why the Homebloc provides a solution to these hotels, so the commission the fees can dramatically reduce.
Right. Which would then increase their profits. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but you're right. I used to do accounting for this boutique hotel, and the fees were, atrocious. But that was like their main way of getting people through the door was through those big sites like Expedia. So yeah, you're right about that. What other pain points is Homebloc solving then for hotels?
I think another thing is, as I mentioned, users go to those the third-party websites, right? And besides high commission fees, and I think the second pain point is actually those traffic belong to the third-party booking sites. The traffic are not go to the hotels themselves. So that means actually the third-party booking sites know who they are and owns the information about the users. However, the hotels themselves don't have such like information, and it's also it's a bad thing for the hotels. So with our the Homebloc, the hotel nights, like the booking, we are tokenizing the intangible assets, which is like the rental rights and the hotel living rights. And actually we drive all the traffic to the hotels themselves. We don't own those the traffic, so hotel own those traffic. I think this is also another benefits to the hotels.
So we're basically helping the hotel to promote themselves instead of promoting our own platforms, and that is, a big yes for the hotels, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's in the spirit of Bitcoin and blockchain too, taking power back from the big companies that are out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, even though my group knows how I feel about that, I kind of feel like they're going to fight tooth and nail, and there may be some balancing there a little bit too. But so are there hotels now that are like, where's Homebloc in this process of, alpha, beta being used? Are there hotels using it now?
Oh, yes. Actually, we're currently on our WeChat mini programs in China, which is basically the platform that we use in China. We have over, I'd say 11, sorry, what was the number? I think we have over 300,000 hotel rooms.
Okay.
and on our platform, and that covers, I'd say, 44 cities across China. And these are and these are all the hotels that we're working with right now. And
Okay.
yeah, and it's available for booking and for for, of course, for your rental rights trading as well.
Are you, so I know Jen is here. You're here to open up the U.S. market, Jen? Is that
Yes. So
okay?
in terms like Jerry just updates the progress in China, and in terms of the US market, actually we have developed our own like hotel booking apps. So right now it's currently in alpha testing, so internally testing, and we also have like a booking website. So it's still because it has to use the API to connect with the hotels. So we are still solving these problems. So hopefully it will be public to the, will be open to the public in the second half of this year.
Okay.
And yeah, so this is for the hotel. And currently we are also, partnering with a vendor to help us build the community across the world. So currently we reached like over 30K in our Telegram group. So, and we just finished our first airdrop to our group, and
Okay.
we are going to do like crowdfunding by the end of this month, and also like the beginning of next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, somebody asked, Tawana in our group asked if BBC could participate in beta, but I guess the first question I want to ask then is how could we participate in the airdrop as well? Is that open?
So actually the airdrop just over last weekend.
Okay.
So it's only been running for 2 weeks. However, right now we have like angel recruitment. So I can send you more information about that. So
Yeah.
yeah, the airdrop I just mentioned was just our first airdrop. So we will have more airdrops down the road. Definitely, we want to bring in more users to our community. We will definitely update you
Yeah.
the schedules. Yes.
Yeah. So put me on. You have my my information as well as Audrey's. Definitely put us on your mailing list. You guys, I'm sure, have a email list or something like that you're working with. Yeah. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then, we do have other people in our group that are great with writing like help center articles and doing videos and, explainer videos and things like that for your, not just for the hotels, but for the consumers as well. So maybe there are some things that we can talk about there too, because I know, quite a few people in the group would be interested in helping you with that, to do the testing, get all the kinks out,
Definitely.
and then say, this is our experience with it, and this is how we did this and put it together. So
Definitely, yeah. As a like startup company, like we need we need a talent from
yes.
every aspect, from engineer, blockchain engineer, tech people to business development people to marketing people. Like we do need more talents to join our community, to join us. So to build this like great project. Yeah.
Right. So we'll definitely stay in touch with that. And Tawana, let me know if you have any other questions with regards to that. So, okay. So, are you just working in hotels, or are you with the hotel industry, or do you have other industries? Because, I did read about the rental and the property ownership trading as well. So it seems like you all are trying to expand from just hotels too.
Correct. So in our like white paper, we have like 3 phases. So the phase one, like we trying to tokenize intangible assets, meaning like a hotel living rights and also like a rental rights. And in phase 2, we are providing solution to residential real estate. So meaning like if you suppose, let's say if you are an investor, you want to invest in like apartment. So in our current business model, you just buy a whole apartment and then you rent out. That's how you make money to be the investor of this apartment. However, in Homebloc solution, so you can invest in a piece of this apartment room with maybe 9 other users who are also interested in this apartment and have Homebloc to rent it out. And it's basically crowdfunding this residential real estate ownership.
Yeah, so we have a very active group around tokenization of assets, and I'm sure that they would love that. So, you know, this thought of you buy a piece of real estate or any kind of asset, and you're able to tokenize it and split up the ownership. So yeah, so we'll, you know, definitely want to know more about that as well. And then the basis of that are the smart contracts, right? So how does that work in terms of, let's say there's a house that, to make the math simple, 10 of us own, we put in $10,000 each, so it's a $100,000 house. Then how is Homebloc going to create a simple user interface where we can say, you know, once it rents out, this is how we get our money back, this is how we get our revenues, or how far are you within that process?
So in terms of real estate, you know, there are a lot of like regulations, and there are a lot of like partners to be involved with, like a broker, you know, and other parties. So currently we are talking with lawyers discussing with lawyers about the details about on like how to implement this. So yeah. We are still in the process.
You're in the process. Yeah, there is a lot to know. And sometimes states are different as well, from one state to another within the United States. So I can understand that. So anything else you want to add, Jerry, in regards to the rentals, the property ownership, the hotels?
Actually, like Jennifer just mentioned, and we could actually break down the property into, different percentages, and sort of, buy a piece of property along with other, let's say 9 investors. And I think that we are actually, the company itself is actually going to do it through STO, the security token offering. And one of the questions that you asked, about how we're getting the money back, and that's on our phase 3, which is what we call the DOS system, and that's how we actually try to manage these properties and try to sell it out and try to get profit for the owners who owns the piece of property. And that's how the whole process is on a very surface level. And of course, in New York, and that's how that's what Jennifer and her team is working on at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned the third part, because I was going to ask about that too. So yeah, so it sounds like you have a big project ahead of you. What's your time frame for that second and third phase?
So in terms of second phase, actually we are already discussing with lawyer and to discussing about the implementation details already. I think, as I mentioned, as we are currently focusing on the crowdfunding stage. So by the end of this month and the beginning of next month, we are going to do like a crowdfunding. After we get the crowdfunding, then we will get on the like exchange platform, and then we will have raise the funds and to actually implement the real estate. So actually, we're not just the real estate. We're also talking about other like property assets. So which are Jerry actually has. Jerry's family has like a unique, special, like a connection with those the property, the assets. So we are, and also for the STO, as Jerry mentioned, we also talk with other platforms to figure out the details about the STO. I think once we get the crowdfunding, I think we will have more updates, details are implemented by the second half of this year.
Okay. So Tawan is also asking about the crowdfunding platform that you're using. Do you know yet any specifics with that?
So we are actually talking with several partners currently. One of them is called CoinChase, but we are still like talking with others. So we will like announce very soon in our community. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So definitely keep us on the list for that too, so that
exactly,
we can,
definitely.
yes, so that we can know about that and potentially participate, because that would be great. Yeah. So, you know, and like I said, we have a very thriving tokenization of assets group here. So we are looking at helping, you know, businesses get funded, you know, because a lot of our businesses need funding as well. So how do you put something out and then let people fund the business by taking fractional shares of a business as well? So there are a lot of different interests that our group has, but I also work with some people who are, you know, doing fractional shares in houses in Detroit and Chicago and, you know, Dallas and places like that. They'll, you know, buy a house, but then there'll be like 5, 6, 7 people that that purchase a house together and then rent it out. So it'll be interesting to see your process. And a lot of people are practicing group economics now. So
awesome. Yeah, it's definitely, it's a trend, you know, because the real estate overall, it's how do I say, it's
illiquid.
Illiquid, yes. So we're trying to liquidate illiquidity, right? Yeah.
Yes, and I think that's going to be one of the big positives with your company, as well as some of the others like Securitize, et cetera, is that it will give what's called a secondary market to these, you know, these assets that at one point, once you purchased it, you could not easily resell it, and now you'll be able to because of the blockchain. So
yeah, exactly. And the more users will be getting involved into this the real estate market. Otherwise, like, people just be scared about the price, you know, the market. But now, as with the blockchain with fractionalized, people are more people will be involved, can get access to this real estate market.
Right. And you don't have to trust the person in order for you to do, well, it's the truth, because a lot of times we don't want to go in with other people because I don't know this person who's leading it, and you know, I don't trust them, etc. And with the smart contracts, you know, we know that they'll be, once they're programmed properly, we know that there are what's immutable. You can't mess around with the chain. So yes, perfect. Well, we are coming to the end of our time together, but I wanted to give both of you a chance to make any final comments that you have with regards to Homebloc or anything else, Jen, that you have going on with your meetup in New York as well.
Thank you. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we have meetup group. It's called the DEX, Decentralized Exchange. So we created this meetup group to bring in a lot more people who are interested in this blockchain crypto and who wanted to learn more. So because I feel like I'm not tech person, and I wanted to learn more. And in the beginning, I was so scared, you know, to speak in those meetup groups or to talk to people, because I don't want people to know, oh, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about this. But then I realized, and I gradually realized, actually, a lot of people actually don't have that much knowledge about this space. They just use the word, oh, STO, oh, they use the buzzword blockchain, crypto, ICO, STO, or, you know, whatever the buzzword to make themselves look like knowledgeable. So I was there before, so that's why we wanted to create this meetup group, so everyone can come to our like events, like talk with us, and we also invite some speakers in this space from different various like industries, various aspects to educate the knowledge to the people, and that's how we. That's why we created this meetup group. And in terms of the Homebloc, so Homebloc is basically providing solution to tokenize intangible and tangible assets. So provide a solution to the like living, to trying to provide another solution to solve the living problems. As I mentioned earlier, like we are currently now in the like we're going to crowdfunding very soon. So if anyone is interested, feel free to, like join our Telegram group to, we will post every like details, updates in the group.
Great. Jerry?
Actually, one thing that I wanted to add from in addition to Jennifer's statements is that if anyone would like to participate in in our project, and one easiest way is to actually use our app. And you know how a blockchain project is really depending on their communities. And what we did was our mining process is that using our application and leave comments, upload photos of of the hotel rooms and everything, and then that is then I think our users are doing their jobs as an information maintenance person, so that we're actually going to reward our users who did all that. And that is one way to participate in our project and to basically receive our home credits and eventually the home tokens.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank both of you for being here tonight with us. I, of course, want anyone who is listening to this tonight and you're not a part of Black Blockchain Consultants to check us out. We are at blackblockchainconsultants.com. Our mission is to help people find blockchain jobs, start blockchain-based businesses, invest in blockchain projects, whether you're investing time or money, and ultimately build wealth through the blockchain. So we're here to make, Tawana, you have your hand raised. Put in the chat if you really want to come on the panel to ask a question. I don't want to put you on if you don't want to be. So let's hold on for Tawana for 1 second. Oh, Tawana saying no. Okay. All right. Sometimes people accidentally click the wrong thing. So, all righty then. So again, blackblockchainconsultants.com if you want to be a part of the inner circle. We also just had our virtual conference. We had, oh my goodness, I think it was 11, 12, 13 different sessions, panel sessions, interviews with people like Reggie Middleton with regards to blockchain, where it's headed and how we can participate. So go to blackblockchainconsultants.com and check out courses, and you'll be able to see that as well as other education products that we have. Thank you again to Jennifer and Jerry. Jerry looks wide awake, so I won't tell you to go back to bed. I'll just...
Okay, yeah, I'm going to probably go grab my morning coffee real soon. And
go grab your morning coffee,
right,
and enjoy your day. And thank you so much to both of you. We do want to participate with you, so we would love to stay in touch. And Jennifer, you and I will definitely be in touch as I come to various events that you're having at DEX. So
thank you so much. Thank you
so much for having us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.